Good morning, Howling supporters. Happy day after Thanksgiving. We've got River and Rumi very excited for their quote-unquote turkey breakfast this morning. Since they are very small animals, we are giving them Cornish hens, but I think they will be excited for it regardless. Our team is wrapping up preparing this yummy food for our animals right now. So since the foxes are being wily and cute this morning while waiting patiently, I figured we'd go ahead and get started on time and let you guys just enjoy them. If you listen very closely, you can hear Rumi doing some alarm barking, and that alarm barking isn't because he's scared, but because he is very excited for his treats. And River sang songs this morning too. Broom, broom. Yes, please. They're ready. Yeah, Marissa, I don't know why you would say that these guys are ready for their food. Surely they're not. Rochelle, you're welcome to answer a question. Oh, you can hear Antoine and Thistle also excited for their food. Happy Thanksgiving, Donna. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? All right, and then bring them over here. So you guys will notice there is something on these Cornish hens. I promise it's not seasoning. It is pumpkin. So we are giving them the equivalent of a Thanksgiving dinner. And yeah, you can just set them down. Get it, River. And then for Rumi. When Rumi does this, I think he looks like a Jack-in-the-Box. Bye. I think River went to eat hers in her little house. And that she has. So she's got a little windbreak, so she's got nice privacy. So that may be all we get from the foxes this morning. So I'm glad we hung out with them before they got their Cornish hens. Oh, hi. You already got it, Rumi. You took it.
Yes, you had first Cornish hen, but what about second Cornish hen?
See, I was promised a turkey toss, not a Cornish hen drop-off. Nothing fell from the sky. It's like, maybe I'll go steal it from River. Hey, Rumi, Danny loves you. She misses you very much. River, Danny misses you.
I prepared that Cornish hen with love just for Danny.
Hi, River. Nope, Roomy. Nope. Oh my goodness. What do? Goodbye. Stop. So for anyone watching the comments section, you'll notice that Donna McCann shared a link to a hoodie. For anyone who hasn't seen, just like we did a hoodie campaign earlier this year, we have launched a fundraiser to buy Indigo Mountain merch. So on it is the logo that we combined for Indigo Mountain and Wild Spirit. So if you want to purchase a hoodie to support that fundraiser, Donna provided the link in the comment section, and I am confident she will continue sharing it throughout the live stream. So would you guys like to help me with Thistle Antoine? So Thistle Antoine will be next, so you guys can see our nice, lovely cart full of turkey slathered in pumpkin. And so the reason why we have the pumpkin on there is not just to celebrate, you know, Thanksgiving and give them more of a complete meal. It'll actually help with the digestion too. So you guys will have Barbarine, one of our interns. She will throw to Mr. Antoine over here, and Maya will throw to Thistle over there. Real quick, let me get into the shift. Wow, hops. All right, you're good to throw to him. Tony. Hey, yours is over here. And then Maya, throw hers almost immediately. Good job. Oh, no, not my face. Why did that appear? So anyone who watched last time noticed that Thistle did not get her pumpkin enrichment, but today she has managed to get her turkey, which is awesome. Get it, this? Right, we'll see if Antoine will let me get some good footage of him. Yeah, get it, Antoine. So, when it comes to body language, if you guys noticed when Antoine was looking behind him, you may or may not have been able to hear, but a couple of our team members were speaking, and they were quite a distance away, but he was inspecting that sound by looking at it, and then he was also doing some soft tail wags. And that was not tail wags of, ooh, I want attention. That was more of an appeasement, like, don't approach. This is my turkey. I don't want you to come get it. And naturally, they were very far away, and we don't go in and take food from our animals. That just isn't a good time for any of us, especially not them. Good job. Antoine's being wonderful with letting Thistle get hers, so we almost never get footage of Thistle enjoying her enrichment items. So we can get some this morning. Marissa says hello, Paul.
Hi, Marissa. I miss you.
Marissa, I hope you can hear the missing. Yeah, get it, this. I know. Let's see. Can I come up? So if you guys can see, Thistle has very long body language and her tail is tucked. So she's being very cognizant of my presence while she's trying to eat her turkey. instead of opting to get closer, since she's remaining a little hesitant, I'm going to walk on over. We'll see Mr. Antoine one last time before moving on to Zane. And you can see Antoine has just about finished his whole half of a turkey. And this is exactly why we don't want to give them full turkeys, you know, with them being around 20 pounds. We don't want them to gorge themselves like Mr. Antoine did with his half. Because if they were to overgorge, that could lead to a potential bloat situation. So instead of taking that risk, we are giving them appropriate diet-sized meals. Do we want to do Mr. Zane? Oh, is my paper around? I thought we normally did them last. We can do them now. We can do them now. Is my thank you? Or is my thank you paper around?
It can be.
For anyone that has been a part of these live streams several times, you'll notice I almost always have challenges keeping up with my thank you paper, so we can do a call out for those who donated. All right, give me just 1 second. Ooh, I'll hook my little phone up while I open the gate. All right, guys, last time we were in with them, they marked their food 4 times. I think it was 2 P marks from both of them. So we'll see what we got today. All right, you guys are good to throw. Yeah, go get it. Bye. And so another thing you guys may notice that is slightly different with the food that these guys are eating today for enrichments. Normally we do things like pumpkins or the summer coolers or, the present toss. And all of those things are exceptionally novel and that they're not regular food. However, these guys do receive raw food as their meals. And because of that, you can see that Quinn and Leica are less excited to approach us in here because this is their pretty standard breakfast. I mean, normally they get frozen loaves of ground up meat instead of the whole half turkeys. But sometimes when we have things like turkeys or chickens donated to us, we will give them out as quote unquote whole prey. So because of this is their normal breakfast. So they don't want to come and interact as much. Quinn, you didn't finish your food. You don't get more than 1. But of course, with Quinn and Leica, they are good, sweet baby angels all the time. But of course, we will give them their space. Quinny Winnie! Quinny Winnie! Quinn is looking for second breakfast, even though he has not finished first breakfast. Yeah. So for some of our thank yous, I would like to thank Denise Ramsey for donating to Any Rescue. We used those donations to go to River and Rumi. And then Sylvia Aker also donated to Any Rescue. So we put those towards Thistle and Antoine. And for Quinn and Leica, we have Donna McCann and Valerie Hasselman. And Valerie also donated to Any Rescue, and we sent them to these kiddos. And thank you to everyone who did sponsor enrichment. We will be going around today, which is very quick. Normally, you guys know it takes us a couple weeks to get all of our enrichment items given out for these big events. But these meals, this enrichment is actually being used to substitute their normal meals, again, to avoid that overgorgement. So we will be giving all of them out today to make sure everybody gets breakfast, because boy, would they be sad if we skipped that. Yeah, get it like you guys have probably seen this with your dogs at home, but something that I always find really adorable when these kids are eating is when they use their paws as hands. And I'm a big fan of the kill shake, when they pick it up and do that really rapid shake of their head back and forth. Yeah, just like that. Thank you. And that can be used to help dislocate things like bones inside of the meal. It can also be used just to loosen things up, or even for fun. You know, if this was a live animal, then that could be something that helps make it not so. Go see Mr. Quinn, who, as you guys saw, was very excited for breakfast part 2. And he has yet to... Quinn, it doesn't look like you've eaten anything. That is still half a bird. Don't judge me. And so for anyone who is watching Thistle, when we were talking about her body language, you can see that Quinn is a lot less tense, a lot more loose. His tail is not tucked at all. And in fact, he now is so comfortable with me and Paul being in here while he's eating that he has turned his back on us. That is not something an animal who was feeling very defensive would do. Hi. And also an animal that was feeling that way would not bring their meal closer to us. So it's really fascinating, hopefully for you guys, to see the different dynamics and relationships that these animals have with their caretakers, because it's certainly not the same for every animal or every caretaker. And it certainly is quite a blessing when you see an animal trusts you this much, because it really is a compliment from them. They know that we're not here to steal from them. We know they want them to eat their meals. They have not seen any of us eat raw meat, and that is just for them.
You're insinuating that we do. They just don't see it.
And Laika, even though she's also very confident with us and loves her caretakers, she is preferring to stand just a little bit further away than Quinn is. But even she is willing to turn her back on us. So these are very, very nice displays of trust from these kids. And anyone who's met Quinn and Laika or watched these live streams, this is not at all shocking. They are very sweet and good children. Although, just like with your dogs at home, even if they're displaying this level of trust, you never want to stick your hand in there and try and take their treats or their breakfast away. It's just polite. I wouldn't like it, and I don't, in fact, like it when people try and steal my French fries or pieces of pizza, even if it's my husband. So we certainly wouldn't do that with those kids. All right, so we shall let them finish their meal, and now we shall go see Mr. Zane and the rest of the kids on our wolf dog line. So another call out for something that you guys can do to support Wild Spirit now that we are in just about the giving season. We actually have calendars available for pre-order on the website. So you can order those. We have them for sale for $15. It's got 13 months total. So of course you're 2025 and 1 month into 2026. And the fact that 2025 is here is absolutely bonkers. That doesn't feel real. I'm sure most of us feel that way after the good old pandemic days. So for Mr. Zane, Sharon McNeil donated for his turkey breakfast. And Sharon is one of Zane's biggest fans, and Sharon, I don't know if Paul or Vic have shared with you, but we have a blackboard on the sanctuary grounds for people to write who their favorite rescue was, what they enjoyed the most, and Zane is almost always mentioned on there because he's such a good boy, loves to sing for people when they come by. So he is a fan favorite and greatly appreciates your support. And Zane is just moderately chunky, so he's very excited for today's breakfast because it is more food than he typically gets, but that's exactly what Thanksgiving is for. So they're getting his turkey ready. Hi! Are you so excited? Wow! I know! And so one thing that should be fun for you guys is because we did not do a normal feed on schedule, these guys have a little bit more of an appetite than we normally do on these live streams. So we're seeing a lot more of the vivacious behavior and excitement. All right, and you're good to toss to him whenever. Oh. Yeah, get it. He maybe got a little decked by a turkey.
You build characters,
Yeah, good boy. And so with Zane, it might be a little tough to see, but you're actually seeing kind of an in-between of Quinn and Leica's behavior with Thistles. So his body language, he is a little bit more tense than Quinn and Leica were, however, not quite as tense as Thistle was. Thistle was wrapped very closely around her body and stretched extremely long. You can see that Zane has a little bit more looseness, but he is in that more stretched position. So he is ready if we were to do anything to spook him, or if he were to think we were going to take his food, he would be a lot more prepared to bolt with it. I'm going to try walking around to the other side. And you guys may be wondering why we go in with some animals and why we stay out with others. But it should make sense as we were talking about this body language. It has everything to do with their comfort level and safety. Quinn and Leica are exceptionally good kids who don't have resource guarding issues. But with animals like Zane, that could be a little bit more of a risk. So we prioritize human and animal safety. If there were any sort of instance where, like Mr. Zane or Antoine or even Sarkin, who we're about to go see, were put in a position where they felt like they needed to defend their food, that is not a situation we as soft little humans want to put ourselves in. So we very much monitor safety and the comfort level of animals first and foremost. Good job, Zany Waney. And everyone's favorite enclosure is coming up next. And by everyone's favorite, I mean anyone who likes to see some angry behavior. We're going to go see Sarkin and Katniss. I am one of Sarkin's least favorite people. So when we're doing these live streams, he's quite unhappy to have me over there. He is good friends with Paul, so Paul is going to let him into the shift pen. And I'll see how he does. All right, Mr. Shark. Oh, kiddo. I know. So, with Sarkin, I don't know if I was able to capture it on on camera, but he gave me a very low tail wag. And that was not, again, kind of like we saw with Antoine, that was not a, hey, I'm really happy that you're here tail wag. That was more of an aggressive display, and not aggressive in that he would, you know, immediately attack or anything. But he was very much saying, do not approach. And even then, Paul, who he's friends with, just gave him a little look, and Sarkin gave him a little bit of a tail wag. Yeah, get it. And so there are all of these really, really minute differences in how these animals talk to us. And that's something that we're trained... Oh. Not minute at all the time. But that's something we're trained extensively on here. You know, we're not just watching overall. We're watching every single thing that they are telling us. And listening when they like to vocalize it. Because these guys are really well known for being excellent communicators, both in captivity and in the wild. In the wild, these guys have to hunt to survive, and hunting is really, really hard. They have a really great reputation for being excellent hunters, and while they certainly survive off of hunting, their success rate is under 15%. And that's because the prey that they're eating are genetically predisposed and have evolved to avoid predators. I am not even moving. And so in order to hunt effectively, they have to be able to communicate with one another. So they learn how to read these teeny tiny little differences in body languages to help one another in the hunt and also help their pack survive. Okay, I'm sorry. So, with that interaction, his ears were flat back to his skull. He even had angry eyes where they were furrowed, kind of like a human. And he was standing off with me extremely tense. And it would have been hard to see from this angle. But his fur was doing a thing called piloerectation, where the guard hairs on the back of his shoulders were standing straight up, all of which are very defensive and quite aggressive. And this is actually why we have Sarkin in the shift pen, is if he were to have anything fun like this turkey in his enclosure and we needed to go in and scrub his water bucket, he would get very upset about that, even if his turkey was all the way in the back. Also, Katniss is very shy, and so if there are humans around, she typically won't get her enrichment item or food. I'm not even looking at you. Oh yeah, go ahead and toss to her. I didn't realize that hadn't happened. But because Sarkin is so confident, oh, there it is. He would destroy his half turkey like we're seeing right now, and then go and steal Katniss's. So we're gonna let Katniss get hers. Maybe. Oh, and so you can see how much more shy Katniss is. The reason why she just bolted was because our team members walked through a gate and it made a sound she's heard a million times before. But since she is so shy, that ignited the maybe I need to run away for my safety. All right, Sarkin, I'm going to stand up. Good job. Let's do Mr. Jassa. Jassa, as a coyote, is also getting a Cornish hen, and we'll go in with him, or I'll go in with him. Actually, I'll have you come in and we'll set it down for him. Denise, that's a really great question. So these guys, I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of their mouths wide open, but they have quite massive jaws, and they're really well equipped to eat things in large portions. However, we are all trained on animal CPR, well, not just CPR, but all of the medical responses. So if they were genuinely choking, we would do emergency response immediately. The first responder would be there. If it were Sarkin and me observing that, I would not be the one helping remove that from his throat or giving him the doggy Heimlich, but someone else might. So it does just depend on the animal, who is around, and how safe we feel. So I'll go ahead and have you exit. And then I'm going to hide over here. And Joss is a very shy coyote. Yeah, get it, buddy? But Denise, definitely rest assured, we have never, at least in the last 5 years, had anything like that happen. I can't speak to before then, because these guys are made to eat food like this. But again, we are all trained on how to do emergency response. And while CPR is a bit different, several of us have had to do emergency response where we've needed to administer CPR. So it is a very important skill for us as their caretakers, so that we can be prepared in the event of an emergency, because ultimately we are here to serve them and give them the best lives possible. So if something like that were to happen, we are here for them. Yeah. So Jasa, you guys may notice, doesn't look quite like a wolf. And the reason why that is because he isn't one. He is one of our 4 coyotes. And at 15, he's one of our oldest rescues as well. Him, Zeeby, and Agana are our oldest kids at 15. He's coming pretty close to his turkey, or his Cornishin, excuse me. Good boy. And that's all I'm gonna ask from him. I hope everybody had a really wonderful Thanksgiving. We often have people when they come and visit, they ask if we do community dinners or anything like that here at the sanctuary, because we are located in an incredibly remote area. So while a lot of us are naturally introverts, we will do sometimes team breakfasts in the morning before our day gets started. But yesterday we did an all-team Thanksgiving where naturally we made so much food. All of us were bursting by the end of today. I, in fact, did not even eat breakfast this morning because I was so full. We had someone make tofurkey because we have a lot of vegetarians here, in addition to, a ham, a regular turkey, cranberry sauce, squash, rolls and biscuits and green bean casserole and all the good things. So we had a really wonderful time out here. Hi, Baldo. Hi. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. All right, you guys are good to toss to him whenever. Excited. Oh my goodness. Yeah, great question, Sue. As long as bones aren't cooked, they are totally safe for these animals to have. It's when they're cooked that bones with animals like chickens or turkeys become dangerous because they dry out. Oh my goodness. Pialto. I don't want it. He's telling Erwin not to come take his turkey. Yeah. Artemis! Okay. I don't know if Artemis is gonna brave the pond.
I'm running out of hands.
Oh, that's okay. It's not the first time I've touched raw meat with my bare hands. I'm gonna try and get Miss Artemis. Can I have that tool? I did a naughty and didn't bring one in because I'm a bad employee. I was hopeful that Miss Artemis would come and take her turkey. Oh, we have a very good relationship, but for anyone who's watched these live streams before, it is typically our executive director, Brittany, that gives her enrichment items and who she feels the most safe taking them from. And that is because Brittany is one of the people that hand raised her as a puppy when we got her. And Brittany quite literally fills the role of mom for Artemis. So that is one of the people that she feels the closest to, the safest with. I am going to go back to Mr. Balto and let Paul try and get some photos of Artemis with her turkey. So maybe one person will be less scary. Yeah. Hey, kid. So this is where Balto asked me to stay. You may or may not have heard it, but he did give me just a slight grumble. And naturally, he is a little aggravated because Erwin is there trying to take Balto's turkey, even though they have a fence in between them. And Balto chooses to stay in a spot where Erwin can aggravate him. It's a choice he makes quite frequently. But Balto gave me a very slight grumble as I was walking up because he is extra agitated because of Erwin, and he has a history of being more resource guardy. So he was like, please do not approach any closer. So I shan't. It is no skin off my back if these kids don't want me to get close to them. I am here to respect all of their wishes. You may have heard a slight grumble there too. It's because Paul was taking a step up, and again, Erwin is right there. But this kid chooses every time he eats or receives something fun to stay in a place where he can be bothered by Erwin. Artemis has not committed to her turkey yet.
A little nibble, but...
So we'll call it there with them so that she has an opportunity. What are you doing, bud? Look at you. girl. Get it. I don't know how well you guys can see, but Artemis is starting to explore her turkey. Yeah, take it. Lick that pumpkin. Good girl. All right. You're so cute, Balto. Oh, I think I do this every live stream.
Me too.
Look at how handsome you are. Next will be Naya and Erwin. Mr. Irvin. Get the turkey. Oh, Lynn, you've got your traditional hi mom from your son.
You go, add an S on there. All mothers who are watching can enjoy.
And you remember how I said Balto likes to stay in spaces where he can get bothered? Yep, I think you might be able to squeeze it through. Oh, open it. Beep, beep. Let me set my cellular device down. Balto! Will you let him free? Balto is brat. Oh. Erwin shifted, going in with Naya. Naya, Naya, hi, honey. Hi, honey bear. I think so too. Look at his mitts. Look at those big old mitts, Erwin. Yeah, say hi, Mom. Good job. These guys certainly never learned their manners about chewing with their mouths closed. My parents would be appalled.
My mom wouldn't care.
Good boy. All right, if you want to toss it, I will almost certainly need to hand it to Miss Naya. Yep. And don't worry, guys, I shall be washing my hand after this live stream. Naya, Naya, jambalaya. Naya, Naya. Do you want it? I got a turkey for you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's it do? Yeah, what you doing? Do you want your breakfast? Good girl. Yeah, you take it. So, talking about body language, you probably saw with Naya, she was very excited. I had a turkey in my hand, And she was very excited to receive it, but instead of approaching me and trying to take it, because she is a shy and hands-off with a lot of people, not with me, we do get good plays and pets and kisses, she was very respectful of my human boundary and waited for me to throw it to her. So I was really glad that you guys got to see some of her playful, adorable behavior, because those are the types of interactions that I get with her and a few other people get with her. And she's slowly warming up to people like Paul. But as you guys noticed, she did not want me to film her eating her breakfast, which again, I can't really blame her. If people started filming me while I was eating, I would also be very upset. So we'll go back and say hi to Erwin again. Wow, you can still read Mom. Yeah, I'm not taking it. Something that you guys may have a little bit of trouble noticing, but our bigger animals are getting the bigger pieces of turkey, and that's to help accommodate the amount of food that they need. That way we're not overfeeding them. Oh, I remember there was a question while I was in with Balto Artemis about having them run around after eating. Fortunately, these guys are really good at self-regulating. Once they're done, after feeding, we will often see them snoozing. And one of the reasons why we feed them in the morning is because they are known as a crepuscular species, meaning they're most active between the hours of dusk and dawn. So early morning and in the twilight hours are when we see them being the most active. And when we do feeding days, they are extremely excited about their food. So they do a lot of running around, playing, excited behavior. But once they get their food, they pretty much calm down because it's getting to be that time of the day where they naturally are resting more. So that's typically not a concern. There are animals that we have to do special feeding things for. Like we had an animal earlier this year. She began caching a lot of her food or burying it. And then she would overgorge herself on that cached food. So we started, one day we saw her tummy was a little distended, and we were actually able to catch it before she went into bloat or anything like that. So she was perfectly safe and fine. But now, because she has that propensity to hide her food and gorge herself later, her companion gets hand-fed, and when he is hand-fed, we're doing it piece by piece, and if he doesn't want to finish his breakfast, we don't put the rest of it in there. Hi, Erwin. So we pay very, very close attention to their eating habits. That way we can avoid any potential danger. And we even have animals like Bowie who don't receive raw meat, and he gets hand-fed several times a day so we can avoid bloat. So now we'll go see Dahlia and Aragorn. So we should just check that before they get tossed.
Teamwork.
Beanie weenie. Hi, Beans. Hi, Beans. Hi. Kiska. So guys, I have finally remembered that I have a pop socket on my phone, so when I'm unlocking these doors, I can set my phone down so you guys can continue watching the animals instead of the ground. So it only took me, what, 2 years to figure that out? Hi, hey, easy, easy, easy. Hi, I know, I'm very excited to see you too.
Hello, Beans.
Hi. All right, go ahead. Oh, Beanie. Oh, oh, nice. Get it, Gorny. Yeah. Boop.
Perfect.
Can't see. Oh.
Nice. Natural behavior. Looking for birds in a brush.
Looking for birds and brush. Okay. Yeah, Rochelle, Kiska is next. So Beans is keeping an eye out for Aragorn in case he comes to try and steal her turkey. But fortunately for Miss Beans, Aragorn is all the way over here, so she is not at risk. I don't know how far I'll be able to get back here. But hopefully we can see Aragorn before my Wi-Fi goes out. And if the live stream disconnects, I promise I will be back very shortly. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's got that really excellent camouflage. Oh, I'm not taking it. I don't want it. Wow, thank you for joining us from France. That's amazing. So I'm going to stop right here for Mr. Aragorn. I know we don't normally get to see a lot of him. He doesn't want me to get too much closer, so it will be from a distance, but he's a gorgeous, gorgeous boy who does deserve some time in the limelight. Alyssa, I think that Brittany, I can't remember if she has published the how to build these, but I know she's talked about making a post because a lot of people in the community also really like them. But while we are watching Mr. Aragorn, I would like to come back to my handy dandy thank you paper because I forgot it existed. So for Katniss and Sarkin, I'd like to thank Emily Miller and Helen Larson for donating to Any Rescue. We gave those turkeys to them. Thank you, Joanne Mills, for donating to our old man Jassa. And for Balto Artemis, we had Denise Ramsey, Emily Miller, Sue Rigel, and Sylvia Multari. For Naya Irwin, we've got Karen Beluomini. And Karen, I think I say your last name different every time, and I apologize for the times that they are incorrect. And for Beans and Aragorn, Laura Merrill donated to Any Rescue for at least two times. We had several people do many Any Rescues this time, which was nice to see. So we sent those to Beans and Aragorn. Next we'll have Kiska Zeeby. We've got Mr. Zeeby over here, handsome man. If you guys remember, he is one of our other oldest rescues. And Kiska over here watching Beans and her breakfast. Loop around. Hi, Beans. And so you guys will notice I approached her directly from the front. That way she knew I was coming and it wasn't any sort of a surprise. Beans is not at all a resource guarder with humans, but with fun items like raw meat and enrichment items and really anything she might deem fun, we always act with an abundance of caution, even if they don't have that history of guarding. Hi, Kiska. Kiska is quite ready for her food. And for Kiska and Zeeby, this time we have Denise Ramsey and Susan Zapia, who donated to Any Rescue, and Rochelle Tillicum. All right. No. Kiska. And you can come in here and toss to Zeeby this direction. Hey, Zeeby. Hey, Zeeby. All right. So let's toss to Kiska. And then Zeeby, pretty much as she's throwing, go ahead and toss it. Yep. Good boy, Zeeby. Hey, Zeebs. Naturally, he went to hide where we can't see him, but we should be able to get a good look at Kiska. Ooh, yes. So, as our lovely Maya pointed out, if you guys take a peek all the way in the back, you can see Zeeby enjoying his meal as well. Big hugs from Rochelle, Kiska.
Katie, get on in there and give her the hugs.
You couldn't pay me. For those of us who haven't heard, Kiska and Zeeby are two of our most popular animals here. Excuse me. I inhaled some of my hair. It was a lovely breakfast for me. But they came from another facility where Kiska was even hand-raised on site. And so they had a lot of fans at that old facility. So when they shut down, the supporters actually came to Wild Spirit to continue supporting Kiska and Zeeby throughout their lives. And Kiska is actually one of our, if not, I think she is the only big bad female we have here. And that's because she is exceptionally confident around humans. So if she starts to get opinionated, she has none of that neophobia to ward her off. So there are often times where she will, like we saw with Sarkin and Irwin, we actually will typically shift her before we go into an enclosure. But what's really cute and that I love about these animals is when Kiska's old caretaker came to visit last summer, she reverted into a sweet baby puppy when she very first saw her caretaker. And I don't know if you guys can see, but all the way in the back behind Zeeby in another enclosure is Atlas, wondering why feeding is going so slowly and he is yet to receive his turkey. August said, Kiska hugs are very exuberant, can confirm.
I bet you can.
So, before we go see our singers, we are going to try and do a very special guest. We are going to walk up to our middle compound to one of the closest enclosures and give Zeppelin his turkey. Kind of the same caveat as when I went to go see Aragorn. If the Wi-Fi goes out, I will turn around and we will restart the live stream. But we were a little short-staffed this morning, so we didn't have the opportunity to go grab an animal as a special guest. So we will see if we can get Mr. Zeppelin on camera for you. And I believe, yeah, we'll just take us three up there since he is shy, and then Sienna, I'll have you step away once we toss to him as well. It's a little special treat to see the very beginning of our middle compound for those of us who haven't been here. Over here, we have Alu and Denahi. Alu is in her cave house. Denahi is also, like Atlas, wondering why feeding is going so slowly this morning. We've got Mr. Mowgli and Agana over here.
Did you show them our new signs?
Oh, no, I meant to do that. Marissa did compliment them earlier, but we have these very beautiful new signs of our animals that Paul made. And these have been a brainchild of our executive director, Brittany, for a long time. So we are very excited for that. If you don't want to throw it in, we can put it in his shift pin. Yeah.
They'll probably just grab it.
Yeah. Hi, Zeppin.
Boy.
So Zeppelin is actually working on getting shifted. He was moved into this enclosure because it has a shift pin. He can be very opinionated with people. And he's really shy. So if there's a vet visit or an emergency, it is easier for us to get him in this shift pin. So we actually have his water in here. So this space is very slowly, very gradually becoming a safe space. Yeah, good boy. So you could see that snatch and grab. He was very cautious when taking it. Oh, it's okay. And if you guys listen closely in the background, you can hear our singers singing their songs. Hi, Uni. Ooh, Angie, I'm not going to take it. I not take. It's actually the first time Zeppelin has ever snarled at me. But again, I don't typically hang out with him while he's eating his food because we let them enjoy their food in peace. So Zeppelin is what's called a black phase wolf dog. You guys may notice he is this sort of gray color, a white silver on top with black hanging out underneath his coat, and his face is still pretty dark in coloration. So Zeppelin, when he was born, he was actually pure black, and he continues to get lighter and lighter as he ages into this silver coloration. And this will typically happen with the high contents and with the wolves when they're born black. And age doesn't necessarily dictate how they're going to phase. Like Naya is almost entirely silver at this point, but she's still fairly young. Versus Zeppelin is getting older, and he is not quite as silver as she is. And even when they phase, Zeppelin has retained a lot of that black underneath his coat, whereas some of them will go completely white or silver underneath and maybe have a black stripe on top. That's actually how ZB has phased. So his sides are almost entirely white, his face is entirely white, but he's still got a decent amount of black on his back and his tail. So it's really interesting as these black kids start aging to see how they phase. Good job, Zeppelin. So I have gone over our typical hour mark. I don't think that you guys are too upset about that. I know there's never enough wolf and wolf dog content, but in the interest in time, so that we can go ahead and feed the rest of our kids, we will go down and see the singers. Hi, Lou. So Lou and Denahi over here. Denahi's been a special guest, I believe, on these live streams before. But for anyone who doesn't know, Lou, this white one, whitish gray, and Denahi, the brown, they are grandparents to our animals Socks and Gambit, and they are mother and father to our animal Yue. Wolf dog lines are pretty. There's not that many of them, all considered, so we have a bunch of animals that are related to one another. And what's really cool is Embark, which is the only doggy DNA test readily available on the consumer market that can accurately ID wild canid content. Recently, for wolf dogs, released Relative Finder, so we have found out a lot of our animals are more related to one another than we even thought. And I know Robbie Parks and Donna Estwan will be interested to hear this. We actually found out that baby Dodo is 40% related to Octavia, which is very cute considering they live together. And in the comment section, Grandma Donna has left a link to our Wild Spirit and Indigo Mountain merch, where we have hoodies, t-shirts, lots of goodies for the Indigo Mountain. And as a little sneak peek for what most of our days typically look like here at the sanctuary, anybody that is squeamish, I'm giving you a trigger or content warning right now. This is what our day typically looks like. All of this raw meat. We spend most of our time in our wolf kitchen preparing food for our animals. Hi, guys. So a lot of people think that most of our job is most people think our jobs are playing with the animals, and as much as we would love for that to be the case, most of our job is taking care of them, like getting them fed, getting them their meds, cleaning their enclosures, scrubbing their water buckets, all the dirty work. All right, so Bowie is gonna get dog food because he cannot eat raw meat, and Reba is getting the Cornish hen. Excuse me. Hi. Good morning. Hi. Reba. So Bowie gets hand fed, like I mentioned earlier. Get it, Reeves. Get it. Yeah, good job. Yeah, get it, Reba. We'll go ahead and have you step out. And so the reason why we're separating Bowie and Reba is not because they don't do well with one another when they eat, but because Bowie can't have raw meat. This is just the safest way to make sure he doesn't get access to the Cornish hen. Reba.
Not like your Cornish hen. A little bit overgrown and it'll look just like you.
And so as I mentioned earlier, the reason why Bowie's getting hand-fed is because he did go into bloat several years ago, and even torsion. So we hand-feed him the dog food because now he cannot have raw meat at all, but we also feed it to him in teeny tiny little bites, and do multiple feedings every single day. That way he is not consuming too much food at once, and that helps him stay safe. So some other last call outs, like Donna said, we do still have a long way to go on our merch sale goal. We still have calendars available for pre-order, and those make really, really wonderful holiday gifts. I also would love to encourage you guys to start thinking about Giving Tuesday. Today is Black Friday. We've got Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and then Giving Tuesday is just a few days away. Our goal this year is to bring in $15,000 for the Indigo Mountain campaign. We have raised around $15,000 the last 2 years, so we are very confident in y'all's ability to support us in that way. But then following the Giving Tuesday, we'll be fundraising not only for Indigo Mountain, but for Wild Spirit as well. We've been focusing on the Indigo Mountain campaign for a little over a month now. And of course, we still do need to support the Wild Spirit operating funds as well. So we'll be giving you guys opportunities to donate to both of those different endeavors. We will be having an email go out soon, but I did want to put it in your little brain housing units. Yeah, get it, Reeves. Bye. You're just gonna leave it? We have someone who has offered to do a match for giving season of $1,000. So the first $1,000 that we raise December 1st through 31st will be matched by someone. And we would love for you guys to consider if you are able to make a contribution for us to run a matching campaign. We think that that would be something really awesome for us to offer this giving season, because certainly it means a whole heck of a lot to people when their $1 can turn into $2, or their $100 can turn into $200. So if there is anyone who is willing to provide funds for that, please feel free to reach out to us. Also, of course, with the Indigo Mountain campaign, we are around $200,000. I think we are at 204 as of this morning, and we do need at least $715,000 to save this organization and the animals within its care. So we are still very much in need of support of anyone who has connections to philanthropists or people that have funded capital campaigns or animal organizations or environment, or any connections in Colorado who want to see a nonprofit stay in operations, or even, our plan is to open it up once it becomes USDA licensed to become a tourist attraction. In the industry, it is a multi-million-dollar industry already in Colorado, so we know that this is a very good opportunity. And of course, and most importantly, we want to make sure that these animals have a safe place to call home when they need rescue. There are only a few sanctuaries in all of North America. I believe it's under 40, and Wild Spirit is the largest one with our capacity of just under 80. That's our max. That is too full. We're more comfortable around where we are now, around 73. But so we're one of the largest, and that we can't even take in, 100 animals. So pretty small. But Indigo Mountain has a capacity of around 40, 45. They currently have 25 residents in their care. So not only would we be saving those animals immediately, we would be making sure that wolves and wolf dogs don't lose one of the few places they have to call home when they need help. Because Indigo Mountain is another large one. That's a very private area, Bowie. So we desperately need your help, need help with connections, or, anybody that might be interested. Our Howling supporters have shown amazing support, and this isn't something that we as an organization, or even just our regular supporters can sorry, I'm having a little bit of a brain malfunction. You know, we need as much help as we can get. And so while we are extremely, extremely appreciative of what's been done before, we do still have around 500,000 to go before this sanctuary can be saved. So any connections that you guys might have would be greatly appreciative for all of that. But otherwise, I believe that is everything. Just keep us in mind for giving season. Of course, all donations are tax deductible, so now's a really great time to get started on that for your end of year. But otherwise, we will wrap it up here so the rest of our kiddos can get their turkey breakfast. And thank you so much for your support. We could not do this work without you, and we'll talk to you soon.